Nothing can ever prepare you for the pains that comes with discovering that you have been sleeping with the enemy all this while. And that was exactly the pain that Doosuu Henrietta Awen felt when she discovered, to her utter shock, that the man she dated for 4 years and eventually got married to was not there as her husband, but has been an enemy in disguise of a husband. You guys, I need you to follow me. I'm taking you right there. This is no fiction. It is no movie. It is true life story of a young woman who fell in love with the enemy. It is said that Doosuu met Stefan Awen when she ordered a ride. That night, the guy picked her up and they both got talking. He swept her off her feet. Obviously, he was good looking, dark, handsome, or so he looked to her. And Doosuu felt, this should be my Prince Charming forever, forever. And they both exchanged contacts. They sustained communication long after that ride, and they fell in love. A relationship commenced. They dated for 4 good years. Thereafter, they got married in 2024. The internet was doing, God, when, and all. In fact, some people were like, husband deal, now you define Davido. Because they heard that she met her husband as a boat driver. And so they berated a number of women who would not marry down or date down. Few months later, we're going to hear the bombshell of a story. Guys, stay with me. I'm taking you there. It all began shortly after Doosuu married her sweetheart, Stefan Awen. It was as if they opened the floodgates of hell on Doosuu. This guy humiliated her, tormented her emotionally. It was not physical abuse. It was more of emotional abuse. Now, for those of you who think the only abuse that is terrible is physical, you need to hear Doosuu's story. Emotional abuse is just as terrible. He humiliated her. He will criticize her. He will silence her. He tried to silence her in every way. Doosuu was that kind of girl who wanted to give her all just to earn a man's love. She gave him her mother's SUV. It is alleged that he sold it and bought himself a car in his name. She gave him loans from the NGO, monies he never paid, allegedly. So much sacrifices, yet there was little love in exchange. And she began to wonder, what is happening here? Something is wrong. To the extent that whenever Doosuu was ill, the guy would accuse her of pretending. And so Doosuu was humiliated, frustrated. She had no choice but to resort to another companion. That companion was no other but her diary. She called it Dear Diary. You know why? Because it was so dear to her that she could pour her heart to it without criticism. And so she poured every pain she felt in that marriage into her diary. And we're thankful today because her diary is speaking her pain even while she is lying dead, thanks to that decision she made. So with all the ill treatment, Doosuu felt that something is definitely wrong somewhere, but she could not pinpoint what was wrong. And so she decided to clone her husband's WhatsApp. Smart girl. She cloned his WhatsApp and she started receiving every message in her device. But there was a problem. A huge problem. The messages she was going to see, her heart was not going to be able to carry them. And so when Doosuu began to find out secrets that her husband carefully concealed from her, her heart started failing her. She developed high blood pressure. She was soon going to find out that truly her husband had been cheating on her. But the problem was not even the fact that he was cheating on her, but whom he was cheating on her with. Doosuu found out, to her utter shock, that her husband was cheating with a lady known as Lovette Ova, popularly known as Love Lovette on Facebook. Lovette, guys, was the same lady who styled Stefan on his wedding day to Doosuu. She was the same lady who, after styling Stefan, adorned a black and white suit to join his groomsmen as a groomsman, though a woman. She sat there at their event, celebrated with them, or so it appeared, laughed and threw wishes here and there, but it was all fake. Unknown to Doosuu, her husband and Lovette were having a secret romantic affair. And do you know another intriguing part? Lovette is a married woman with children. Oh yes, you heard me correctly. On the day of Stefan's wedding to Doosuu, he issued a bold warning to Doosuu. But Doosuu was too much in love to see the red flag. In fact, it wasn't just a red flag. It was a red billboard that he presented boldly to Doosuu, but she was too blind in love to see it. I'm going to play the video for you guys to watch and listen to what Stefan had to tell his wife on the day of their wedding. And let's proceed afterwards.
Today I'm 34 years old and I'm getting married. My wife is somewhere in there. I'll go right there and I'll pick her up and tell her, baby, you are spending the rest of your life with me. I promise to give you drama. I promise to give you problems. I promise to ensure you don't sleep well at night on the days you annoy me. And I'm going to ensure that I will give you drama. I'll give you love in dramatic ways. I'll give you abnormal. I'll give you problems. I'll give you issues. I'll give you wahala. But you are there to make it all easy for me. So
now I'm sure you've seen that video and you heard his words, and that was exactly what he subjected that woman to in that marriage. She developed heart problems. Her heart could not take the betrayer anymore. On the 31st of July 2025, Doosuu was at work and her husband went to pick her from office at about 6:30 p.m. She was ill and could barely walk short distances, but surprisingly, her husband drove her home instead of hospital. Barely an hour later, she was rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, she was declared dead on arrival. This angered her friends and loved ones who knew what was happening, and some of them took it online to rant, pointing accusing fingers at Stefan. But guess what? His loved ones were quick to defend him, but they had no idea that Doosuu's loved ones who knew what was happening already had proofs. They had the evidence, they had the receipts of her diary, the chats that she had between her husband and Lovett. And since Stefan's family and loved ones were quick to defend him on what they didn't know, her friends who had these proofs decided to leak them on the internet. These leaked chats are all over the internet. Lovett has deactivated her social media account for now. Same with Stefan. I mean, they cannot stand the proof, the evidence that are roaming on the internet. This is so heartbreaking, and I am pained that in all of this, Doosuu died. I wish Doosuu chose herself over the pains. I wish she chose herself over Stefan. I wish she chose herself over that marriage. Her only crime was loving Stefan. Unknown to her, she was loving the enemy. Guys, my heart aches over this story. I would love to know your thoughts on this story. Kindly pop them in the comment section. I would love to read and engage. Do you think that Doosuu could have prevented this thing that happened? Do you think she could have done it another way? Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Pray that God will comfort Doosuu's family, her friends, her loved ones, and may her soul find rest in peace. In the meantime, guys, take care of yourselves, your emotions, your mental health. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to the people around you, and always stay safe. I remain Dorcas Ige Olukun, and I love you guys.